Hey guys, how we going?
Yeah, good, Petey, good spirit.
Good. Happy to be here for the championship week podcast.
I was going to say championship belt, but we don't have a belt.
No, we have a massive trophy. Maybe we also need a belt as well. Maybe we need to buy one of them for next year.
Oh, Rain,
We need two.
yeah, Rain,
To fit around Bill.
Rain Man wanted a belt too, but there's only so much you can fit into the budget. I thought the big ass trophy might have been something that might be a bit better for longevity.
This is true.
I think the belt might get a bit worn.
Yes, I can imagine Rainsford just wearing the belt around for a while.
Yeah, I was about to say, once we do the presentation for the Titan Bowl, congratulations, Rain Man.
Yeah, good on you, mate. Well done. Got something.
Never in doubt, Rainsford.
There's no doubt in my mind he would be walking around the house with literally the belt on.
Yep,
nothing else.
Absolutely. And no one wants to see that.
Yeah, that would be a scary thought.
So we've had a little bit of action in the games already.
We have.
On one of the screens here. Where are we? No, I've moved off of it.
But before we get to that, Pete,
Yeah.
what about a bit of tale of the tape? How did Dave's team get to this point, and how did my team get there?
Tail of the tape. Well, look, you've been there for ages. Well, not obviously at this point, but you've been. Would you win the division about 5-6 weeks before it was even
like
over?
Three or four, maybe.
Funnily enough, though, oh no, I was going to say there was a chance we were going to end up with a potential of two teams from the other division winning the trophies on both sides. At one point there last week, Paddy was giving you a bit of curry. Actually, it was a pretty close game.
But we were both in the same division.
No, Paddy's Green Bay. Oh, sorry, North. Yeah, sorry. I was thinking. Yeah, there is a chance. I was sitting there thinking there's a chance after all the shit the other division copped.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it nearly was a two teams with losing records making the final there. I was very lucky to win that.
Yeah, look.
I feel like Chautauqua in a way. Sense coming from way beyond.
Last.
Yeah,
Well, you weren't last. You were never last. Jared was last all year.
I know I wasn't last, but it wasn't looking good.
I think the only week Jared might not have been in last place was the first week, maybe.
I think you got a point or two, didn't you?
No, he didn't win. He didn't win the first week.
Okay.
So there was a group of us that were O's. I just don't know if he was on the bottom of the table at that point or not. No, he wouldn't have been because I had the lowest score for the week, so he wasn't there. So that was literally the only week in the season I think Jared was possibly not last.
Fair enough. But he won games when it mattered.
Yeah, well, he seemed fired up at the end of the season. And that's all it takes. Is we all know what fantasy football is. It's not the best team that generally wins it. It's the team that's hot at the right time that wins it. So.
And that's how Dave's team is in the final.
It's
hot right now. It is very hot right now.
Yeah. There's no way in the world I could look at Dave's roster and go, that's the best team in the league. No way in the world.
I'll agree with that.
I think there's 10 owners in the league that'll agree with that statement.
Definitely.
But at the end of the friggin' day,
you've just got to win.
All that matters is winning games.
That's it.
So
and those players just perform on the day, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah, they'll sit there and I know the roster will get picked apart if you win, but hey.
You've just got to win that game in front of you. And right now, Dave's got the lead.
Yep.
Yeah, I was actually reading weather forecasts for the states.
This is what David's praying for.
And cyclones, hurricanes, rain, flooding, no games. So we'll just call it quits now and I'll take the trophy home.
It looks like we're having a week 18 championship game then. Which would be just as terrible.
Look what happened last year.
I'll happily put my name in front of that with an asterisk beside it. So
that was the Damar Hamlin game, wasn't it?
That's right. It all came down to that last game that they didn't finish.
And that decided a few championships too.
Certainly did.
Because there were some big name players in that game.
Yep. Certainly was. Stranger things have happened.
It is, and has. I don't think it's going to happen to 14 games, though, for whatever's left to play.
Definitely not.
who knows? Don't rule anything out. Anything can and will happen.
Yep,
But that's
absolutely.
it. In all honesty, it's just however they play on that day.
Davo's off to a good start.
He is. Big strong start.
The two safeties got him some big points today. I think I had Donovan Wilson on my roster for about 8 weeks and watched him scoring about 10 to 12 points a week and just decided to kick him to the curb. So,
Was there a game today?
yeah.
Yeah, right. Who played?
Detroit and Dallas.
Who won?
Dallas 20 to 19.
Yeah, righto.
Detroit went for 2 to win the game. They actually converted. Then it got flagged because the dickhead officials got in the way again.
I hear they do that all the time. I hear they're always just calling games.
Anyway, whatever.
But that's pretty much sums up the amount of research I do for this.
Yeah,
I've done this whole season at the
was there a
moment.
game today, was it?
Oh, was it? Did I put a tip in? Let's
Yeah,
hope I put
no,
a tip
yeah,
in.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
righto.
Anyone that matters in the tipping have got both the games right so far.
Righto.
So,
There's no guarantee I'll put a tip in.
nah. But yeah, who Davo beat to get to the final? He beat
Jake.
No, it was week one.
Joe-
Was
Joey
Joey?
in week
So
one?
Joey was supposed to be the top dog in the league,
Yep.
and
Joe put him out.
laid a monster turd burger the first week of the playoffs.
Yep.
Dave's team scored pretty well.
Yep.
And out he went. And then last week,
Yep.
I'd say Jakey probably put up one of his lower scores for the season too.
Yep.
And not quite as low as his old boy did though in the Titanic Bowl
It's true.
final.
That was very unhappy.
Nice man. He didn't even crack 270.
Is that the lowest
It
score
was
all
the
season?
second lowest score of the season.
Who's got the lowest?
I hold
Rainsford?
that privilege.
I don't know. I think
I
it
do
was.
hold that
You had like a
privilege.
230 or something, didn't you?
250 or something.
Yeah, it was
If you,
low.
if you could do another one and then this week, that'd be
Well,
really appreciated.
I'll do one next week.
He's nearly a third of the way to it
Yes,
now.
he is.
It's been a fun season though, for some of us.
It has been.
Probably for you too.
Yeah, it has been fun.
I haven't really enjoyed it all that much, to be honest. I didn't get. You know what? I didn't enjoy it until it was all over. I started to actually just sit back and watch football games and not give a fuck about fantasy football anymore. So,
Look, I started the season with a heart attack,
yeah, no,
and I've ended the season with pneumonia. So
you're still breathing at the end. You're still breathing at the end of it.
Adjust.
Probably giving us all how contagious is pneumonia.
Apparently not right now.
No, I wouldn't have thought.
I'm on antibiotics, and apparently I shouldn't be contagious right now. So
Just as long as it's not COVID, Ben, I'll be happy.
it's not COVID, it's just pneumonia. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Yeah, no, pneumonia will never kill you.
No.
Yeah, no, it's a load of fun. I'd recommend heart attacks and pneumonia to anyone.
You cough worse than me at the moment.
It's true.
Especially the bombers come through.
Couldn't walk that way, could she?
Nah, every time she's around, we've done one. She's managed to squeeze through at least for a little 5-second interval.
It's like one of those things you got to spot.
Yeah, yeah. Spot. It's not fine Wally. It's fine Toby.
That's right. It's
Spot the grot.
well, they call it an Easter egg. It's an Easter egg.
Easter egg, yeah. What was I looking at? You guys have played once this season. Back in week 3.
Yep.
And this is when Dave's team was actually doing all right.
Yep.
He was coming into this game, I believe, 4-0.
I was.
And it was about a 26-point win to Spirit. Both teams scored pretty well, actually.
Yeah.
So
I think I got a point out of that game, though, didn't I?
I can't remember. There is
I
a
didn't
way
know.
for me to find out. But
I never know we
Yeah,
played each
no.
other.
oh well, yeah.
Well, we had to, I guess.
Everyone
Yeah.
plays each other at least once.
I can't tell you who I played or what I won or didn't.
Some of us have played each other 3 times.
Yes.
Potentially 4, actually, if you played in the playoffs as well.
I'm assuming I've played Profsky 3 times.
At least 3, yeah.
I've got Jared 3 times or something. I may have.
Jared, no, you wouldn't have played him 3 times. Wrong conference. Oh, wrong division, mate.
So you play
not possible.
your own conference.
Play
twice.
everyone in your conference twice.
Yep.
You play everyone else once,
Yep.
and then there's one extra week
Oh, okay.
where we had to make it up. And how we did it this year was first pick against last pick, second pick against second last pick, third pick against the third last pick. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, you probably played Jared twice.
So I must have played Matt as my
Twice
extra.
then, yeah.
Yeah. Is that right? Yeah.
Looks about right.
We might even pull that down one day. I think we need to come up with a better option actually, but one day.
We'll work on that
Yep.
for next year.
Yep. Something a bit more portable.
Anything's portable.
Like that's portable. You just got to disassemble it to remove it because it's too freaking heavy.
Have to look at hanging it on the wall or something, mate.
Yeah.
Just getting the sheets and hanging them up.
Well, that's why I think the whiteboard option's the better option. Eventually, it's just obviously there's a fair bit of expense in the whiteboard version. So,
Yeah.
But if I can get two big magnetic whiteboards, you can pretty much hang that wherever.
Yep.
So, anyway,
Let's just go
It's
computerised,
still,
mate.
it's still an amazing board, let's be honest.
or maybe we can just get a projector.
Maybe.
I don't know how easy that is to do, but
I'm sure one of us within the educational institutions will be able to get a projector.
yeah, it's possible. How you feeling about? Well, you didn't even know. You probably didn't even know how many players you had to play.
No idea.
No
No idea. I don't even know who I submitted in my lineup.
To
be honest.
Well, you've had a kicker and Miles Garrett to go so far. So
What did Miles Garrett do?
27.
That's all right. I'll take that.
And
He
Nilly's
just got
15.
14.
He had a
Yeah, I'll
kicker,
take
so-
that. That's fine.
And David got a 40 and a 28 out of a safety. So
40 out of a safety. That's
Mm.
oof, that's going to be hard.
Yeah, it's pretty
Make
happy
up.
when I seen
Yeah.
the score earlier.
Jameer Gibbs' score probably wasn't what he was looking for.
No.
Didn't do much at all, actually. I
A
think
bit
he was pretty
disappointing
ordinary.
with him.
Yeah.
I think he was very average, actually, in the game.
I didn't see much of the game. I was sort of cleaning up at home and, you know.
Robbie had him for Rookie of the Year, didn't he? Robbie won.
He won't,
liked
he's
Gibbs.
not winning Rookie of the Year.
No, he's not. But
There's
I
only,
think Robbie.
there's only one
Robbie had a
person
lot of
winning
faith
Rookie of
in
the
him.
Year, and that'd be CJ Stroud.
Did any of us pick CJ for Rookie of the Year?
Don't
think
No,
so.
I
Don't believe so.
think so.
No, most people had either Jameer Gibbs or Bijan Robinson.
Yeah.
I
took
still
Richardson.
believe
Yeah.
I still believe Bijan Robinson would have been good enough to get there if his coach wasn't a complete dickhead. So
Well, is he still coaching next year? Let's hope
I
not.
don't know, man. Like the Bears are gonna be in a similar predicament here. If the Falcons make the playoffs,
Yep.
how do you sack the coach?
Other teams have done it.
Oh no, teams have done it.
Especially after the horrible year they had last year.
But
True.
I mean, we're talking about a team that hasn't had a lot of success for a
True.
fair bit.
Does Atlanta make the playoffs though?
They're a legitimate chance.
They are.
They play the Bears this week.
They're leading the division, aren't they?
No, Tampa's
Tampa's
winning the
leading the
division, but
division, okay.
Tampa, like Baker's playing well at the moment.
Yep.
But Baker can bring back Baker, and
Yeah.
We all know your love for Baker.
and Baker.
Isn't that a surprise how
Well,
he's actually
Oh,
playing? this year?
yes,
Baker, Flacco.
he's never played this well.
No,
Baker.
definitely not.
This is the best he's played football.
Well,
And
if you could go back-
Flacco, fuck me dead.
If you could go
Like-
back 4 months and you'd pick it.
Flacco's come out and said that he wants to keep playing.
Yeah.
He wants to play for another 4 years.
4 years.
That's what he said. He was on. I think he was on McAfee's thing the other day and said
Wow.
he wants to play it for a few more years.
Wow.
He said he never didn't want to play. The difference is now he's had that break. His body's probably feeling better, and
Yeah.
it's amazing what happens when you're not getting your head knocked off every week. So
And pummeled.
yeah,
I think he's one of the highest average per game players right
oh,
now.
he's playing great.
Yeah. Like in
Um,
fantasy, I think he's in the top 5 per game.
This will get a chuckle out of a few people, but if he legitimately does look like keep playing,
Mm.
and depending on where that happens,
Yep.
like I might consider keeping him.
Yeah, could be. Depends on where he goes.
In the right situation. It's not going to be Cleveland because, for obvious reasons, Cleveland's
Wow. Who knows? They might cut the sex offender.
they can't.
If he's
Look,
in prison.
no, they actually can't cut him. They're stuck. It's Deshaun Watson or nothing because the contract, they're locked into the contract. So,
Unless some more women come forward, which is always a possibility.
that shit's been paid off, mate. Including the ones that didn't come forward.
Yeah, but he's been a year or two in Cleveland.
and
There's
there's-
probably some in Cleveland.
And
where
there's
it comes
there's
forward.
no way in the world they didn't sign NDAs. So yeah, I can't see. That's an interesting thing, eh? You imagine that Cleveland team.
Yep.
If they had Nick Chubb, if they had their offensive line that they're missing,
Yep.
and throw Delpit on the back end of the defense, like that's a scary team. Like just the Nick Chubb part of it makes them very scary.
Yeah.
Because he's infinitely better than what Jerome Ford is. They're a scary team. I don't think that's a matchup anyone wants to have in the playoffs, including Baltimore. In fact, especially Baltimore. They've already beaten them once.
So what are
recently.
they, the 5th seed now? Something like that, or?
God. They'd probably have the next best record away from the division lead, like the division winners at the moment. They're not the next best record, including the division winners, because they got a better record than what most of the division winners have got. But there's still a chance for the number 1 seed, which is even crazier. Well, obviously they need some things to go their
What are they
way.
at the moment? 10.
They're a game behind Baltimore.
Yeah.
And Baltimore play Miami this week. But Jalen Waddle's out too for Miami. Plus, I just don't know how well. Like Miami won last week, but they didn't play well.
Who'd they beat?
That was against the Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Yeah, well, they're 5th. They got the 5th seed
Yeah.
at the moment.
Well, they've got 10 wins, 11 wins.
11 wins.
11 wins.
11 wins. They're 1 behind Baltimore, so
What's Baltimore got?
12 and 3.
Yeah.
11 and 5. So
Yeah, right.
And the Jags are looking atrocious. So.
Jags, my God, I need them fuckers to win this
And
week.
Trevor's out.
Trevor's out. Maybe Bedford might play better than him.
let's hope they don't.
We're not setting the bar very high. Fuck you.
I'm actually hoping the Colts win the division, mate. I'll be tickled pink. I'm tickled pink.
As far as I can go, I don't give a fuck if you win this week. You can eat a dick if the fucking Jags lose.
Why do you need the Jags to lose? But they're playing Carolina, aren't they?
One loss. That's all we need. Carolina literally has to lose one more game, and the Bears have the number 1 pick.
They'll lose one more game. It's not.
Yeah, well, they're playing Tampa Bay in the last week. I can't see them beating Tampa, but
No.
that might be the week Bakers.
6 interceptions.
Oh, he's got it in him. I don't care what anyone
He
says.
does. Did anyone else see that Flacco went past Johnny Manziel
He's like
last week?
What they say he's the 30. He's now
31st,
31st or
yep.
something on the Browns
All-time.
all-time passing list.
That's right. He's gone past Manziel.
How many games has he played? 5.
4, 5, yeah.
Unreal.
I tell you what, if he was playing for the Bears, he'd be right there too, probably.
Yeah.
Manziel's response was that some records are made to be broken.
Bit like his career was broken.
When you never look at a playbook,
Yeah, I was about to say-
or watch any film, it's a bit hard.
Sometimes it helps to open up the playbook and actually see what plays you're supposed to be running,
Apparently,
rather than doing coke and whatever else.
coke and hookers.
Fair enough.
He wasn't. He was all about the limelight.
It was. Big shout out to Johnny Football. I know he's a
Johnny
big fan. He's a big fan of the show.
Funnily enough, I remember Matt being a pretty big fan of Johnny Football too. Actually,
It was at the time. There were a few that were very high on Johnny. Unfortunately, Johnny was just high.
Hey, I'm fairly certain if we want to look back at it, the guy that's had 10 straight 1,000-yard seasons to start his NFL career off probably was the reason why Johnny Manziel got picked where he did.
Yep.
for those who don't know who I'm talking about Mike Evans. They played college football together, and I'm fairly certain his 6'5" frame bailed out quite a few shit passes from Johnny and turned them into gems.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, he has been a good player.
Mike Evans he's going to be a Hall of Famer. So.
Yeah, definitely.
I actually think he's been slightly underrated.
No one's talked about him for the last couple of years.
Yeah, but he's still been putting up some decent numbers. Even in fantasy, we haven't been talking about him as a top end wide, but he still puts up decent
Well,
numbers.
I must admit,
He's
passed
not.
him over this
I
year.
don't think he's wide receiver 1 still.
Mm.
Not in fantasy football, he's not. So you're talking top 12-ish, top 10 in our league for a wide receiver.
Yep.
But every man his dog would take him as a 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Everyone wants 1,000 yards.
Yeah, well, that's why I passed him over, because he had Baker thrown him, and I thought, no, this is going to be terrible this year, and passed him over, and
worked out well for Quincy.
Yeah, good luck to Kenny and Wayne for picking him up.
I know I often leave Wayne out of that equation. That's purely because I know he doesn't look at it. But
we know Kenneth's been. The boys had a good season.
They did have a good season. They
drafted well. They've scored some big points, and they had a good season.
Well, how long has it been since they've been in a league?
In a proper league and actually looked at it.
Yeah, in a proper league.
So they were in the Aussie league, but they never looked at it. The last time they would have looked at a league would have been the old. I can't remember if it was Aussie or Rocky, but I think it might have transformed into Aussie before that all shut down back about 2014-ish, 15 sort of area. They may have even been out of that by then. I can't remember now. They might have been replaced.
What were they called?
Yeah.
They had
call sign superstars was
that's it.
Was Kenneth and Bluey was Desert Storm.
That's right.
So.
Well, no, it's good to have them back.
No, definitely. This is the more.
They've done well, and they're about to win the tipping, I'd say. Very, very strong chance.
They're in the right position to take home a trophy there.
I would like to catch them and try and win all 3, but I think they've got me in the tipping.
Also, even Paddy having a good season.
Pat had a great season.
Had a great season.
Yep.
Coming back and.
Yeah, he's. I'm just trying to think now. He didn't have the winning record, did he?
No, he had a losing record. Same as Doves, I think. Or did he win 1 or 2?
16.
Can't remember now. Yeah, both 12 and 16.
Yeah.
Yep.
But won that first week of the playoffs.
Yep. I mean, like I said, going into the playoffs, anyone could win it.
Yep.
So it's always the same with fantasy football. I said that.
And they beat Providence too. So that was a strong win by him.
Yeah, there was a few unsavoury comments in the chat that day that did not go over very well with me. So.
Really?
We'll leave it at that.
As you know, I'm a big fan of the chat. I read every message.
You probably never even seen what the comment was.
Wouldn't have seen any of it.
I was not a happy person. I just put the chat down for a few hours and walked away.
Did Rainsford post some nudes again? I'm glad I missed them. If it was Rainsford in his nudes,
there was no nudes. Just some stuff that didn't need to be said.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm glad I missed it then.
Yeah.
Look, there's been rumours that if Dave ever won a league, there'd be a redraft, but I think you've absolutely put that one on its head.
I actually wrote it into the rules.
It's in the rules.
Yeah.
There's no redraft.
So there will not be a redraft unless the league expands to 12 teams.
Very cool.
Well, I mean, what's the point? Seriously, we're trying to build a team here.
No, we are. I think that comment was made in a bit of jest that everyone thought Dave would never make it. And look at him now; he's a very, very good chance of winning it. So nice work, Dave. This
I've made the playoff a couple of times.
You have?
In prime time in that Aussie league, and actually won the Aussie league 1 year. So, but this is the furthest I have gone in these leagues.
I wouldn't consider the Aussie league a particularly competitive league.
Oh,
no,
harsh.
it was
harsh.
yeah.
half the teams in it weren't even looking at it.
But I did.
This is true, but
I did-
that's on them.
I did beat Jake in the final, and I beat Matt the week before, I believe,
What, in Aussie?
in Aussie. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
I won't dispute that one with you, mate, because I
So,
probably
yeah,
didn't
that's
pay a
the-
lot of
that's-
attention to it myself.
That was the only win I've had in the league.
Yeah, I'm on a bit of a drought these days. Can't remember the last one I won, to be honest. Farewell. It's been a number of years.
That's it, mate.
Certainly nothing since I come back. I had a fairly a bit of an extended break away from fantasy
did.
there for a
You
few
did.
years.
Except for prime time.
Prime time was the only thing I was playing, and
Yep.
to be honest, my head wasn't. Actually, that was probably the last thing I won. Would have been prime time.
Yeah, you beat me.
About 2018 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yep, that would have been the last thing I won.
Aye.
So,
I've actually still got the primetime trophy sitting at home.
is that where?
Yeah, it's at my place. I didn't give it to Jake, even though he won it last year, because he wasn't in the league anymore. So
What's the point in giving it to him?
I didn't give it to him. So hopefully I can win it this week and just keep it. I
Well,
think that league's
count-
done now.
Count
so-
us off to a good start.
Yeah, so look, I might just hang on to it.
Would you have given it to Marty if he had one?
Oh hell no, hell no. But
I don't know where
that league's probably going. Well, look,
I don't know.
if that league continues, I'll give it to someone who's
No,
still
it's
in
not.
it. If it
It's
doesn't,
definitely
if it's
not.
done,
It's dead and
if
buried.
it's done, I might
Look,
just hold the trophy.
The commissioner doesn't even look at it. How the hell's it going to keep going?
Maybe we just etch the runner-up. Like, so if Dave wins, he gets this beautiful trophy, and if I get the runner-up, I'll just keep the primetime one, and we'll just etch runner-up into it for primetime 2.0, and then put the runner-up trophy. That'll probably work quite nicely. It's little,
Well,
it's
I don't-
nowhere near as good as
It
this
hasn't,
big boy.
it hasn't got prime time or anything
I
written
don't
on
think it's got
it.
anything on it, so we
No,
might as well just make it the
it's just
runner-up
a-
trophy.
Just a small Lombardi lookalike.
That's right. We'll bring it over. We'll make it the runner-up trophy. There we go.
It'd be worn now, wouldn't it?
Look, one of my kids did drop it. There is a bit of a corner that's got a bit of a chunk taken out of it, but it'll be good for a runner-up trophy. I think it'll work well.
Was it the ball that actually got?
No,
it'll be
just
the
the corner.
the
It's the corner
pillar.
at the bottom, and it still stands up even though there's a little chunk missing.
I was just going to say we're getting great Patriots on the top. Deflated ball.
No, it stands up beautifully.
That's all right,
It's still
mate.
erect. So,
Well, put it this way: you can keep that next week.
look, next week, if I don't know if Pete's going to do a winners podcast, but we can. I'll bring it to awards night, and we can hand it out to someone.
I need people to actually tell me when they can do awards night. Like we'll be doing it on draft night at this point.
We'll get it done. We'll get it done.
No.
I think there was a day in March, wasn't there?
Friday
No.
night and
No, we're
Saturday
in-
night draft.
I'm pretty sure we're into April now.
No, it's in April.
Yeah, or something like that. I don't know, man.
I think Paddy and Robbie had a date that worked for them, didn't they? And Rainsford maybe had a date.
I don't know.
No, you don't. We just do what we did for draft, mate. Pick a date and say, right, make it. You got 3 months' notice or 2 months' notice.
Yeah, I wanted to get it all over and done with well before that point, but
Drag it out. Rainsford's got to order his clown suit.
the prediction. Well, he doesn't need the clown suit for that night anyway.
Oh, no, he doesn't.
for
He
the
needs it for the
draft,
draft, doesn't he?
Oh, I don't care.
I
He
don't
can
know. It'd be better to see
Oh,
collect
actually,
the trophy
no.
in the clown suit.
In all honesty,
Yep.
I'd say no to the clown suit for the draft
Okay.
because could you imagine wearing that for 10 hours, 12 hours?
Yeah, no, I'm good, thanks.
Depends if he's going to do the full clown makeup.
Yeah, no, I think we'll just do it for the presentation night. If he wants to wear his stupid clown suit, he can wear it then.
Maybe we talk to Rainsford. Rainsford might love wearing it. He might be a big fan of the clown suit.
Yeah, right up until the point where there's no aircon and it's 37 degrees.
That's it.
Edie's like to win the Super Bowl.
Phew.
I was leaning towards the 49ers, but until they got their ass kicked last week, it's the Baltimore.
Yeah, but Brock doesn't throw 4 interceptions.
Mate,
Does
three
he?
of those interceptions were just crazy. They weren't necessarily even on Brock, really. Just sometimes those things happen.
I can't say I saw any of it.
No, I've watched most of that one.
No, I didn't.
It wasn't. He didn't play that bad. He didn't play well, but Yeah, he probably.
Wasn't as bad as it looked.
Oh, he didn't throw 4 picks straight into their laps. The first one was really bad, but he got hit on one throw and fucking skewed and landed in.
Do you fumble as well? Somebody fumbled. He does a fumble or two.
Don't know, I can't remember. But yeah, no, the 49ers, if they manage to get that far, they'll be tough to beat for whoever they're up against. So,
Baltimore look good, but you know,
yeah,
Cleveland.
they look well.
Cleveland. If the Super Bowl
Cleveland's
was in
playing
Miami, Miami, Buffalo,
Buffalo's gonna be hard to beat. I don't care what anyone says.
Dallas. What about Dallas? Pretenders?
Pretenders. I think I don't really rate Detroit Super Bowl threats, and they gave Dallas all they could handle today. Probably should have won the game in the end, but that's because Dan Campbell doesn't want to kick field goals and kick extra points. Said he passed up a field goal in the first half that would have been a chip shot and went for it. And yeah, if you didn't see the end of the game, they had about 3 shots at a 2-point conversion. So surely after you've had penalties come through on the first couple, surely you just take your medicine, kick the field goal, go to extra time, don't you?
Yeah, well, you'd think so.
No. You've pretty much given up half your playbook from the 2-yard line at that point. So at one point they were going for a 2-point conversion from the 7. So
Yeah, right. That's not going to work.
Interesting.
that's where the meathead mentality pops out in him sometimes.
I didn't realise he played tight end for the Lions.
Yeah, he used to play for Lions.
Yeah.
I think he played for Dallas too.
Hmm.
He's from Dallas.
Sure.
So.
No, I saw some footage of him with some long flowing locks.
Yeah, he wasn't a good player.
Jake would not have loved his hair back.
No, I think Jake might have a point. Unless Trevor gets a haircut, he's going to be a shit quarterback until he does. He has not been good this year.
No, terrible.
Herbert wasn't great with the long locks.
Herbert hasn't played. Herbert had a good start to the season this year.
Yeah, as his hair got longer, got worse.
Possibly, yeah.
I mean, so Jake's got a theory here. He needs to have his own podcast where he just goes through guys with long hair and whether they play better or not with shorter hair. Bit of an expose, I think, Jake. You better get on that one.
I was trying to think if there's ever been a long-haired one that's actually done anything.
That's what I'm saying. Jake needs to go and do some research here. He can make his own podcast, and I think he'll get some views on it.
I think Kenny Stabler had some long hair. You probably don't even know who he is.
Yeah, no,
the snake.
Starbuck had long hair
Starbuck,
too.
Yeah,
there was some in the 70s that had some locks.
Freaking everyone had long hair then.
This is true. The dirty porn mustaches were quite popular then as well.
Had a bit of everything.
The longest hair I've seen was that Polamalu. The hair on him.
Yes.
Yeah, the mane.
We did.
But
I used to look at him and think, wow.
So did you give me a definitive thought on your Super Bowl
winners? No. Niners.
You said Niners.
Go Cleveland. I reckon
Cleveland. Well, I got a sports bet account that would probably like that if that happened.
Yeah, right.
There was only a couple of $5 bets, but one at 56 and one at 34.
Yeah, right.
We haven't mentioned Philly. We have not spoken about Philly. Philly is still a chance.
I don't know, man. Yeah, they are.
Too hot and cold this year, I think, mate.
You're only going to get hot.
I'm telling you right
3
now.
games or so.
Anyone can win this league.
Yeah, this is true.
This is the first time I could say in a long time where I reckon I don't care what seed you are.
Yep.
You're a chance to win it if you can get hot.
And if you're 2, you're a chance of going out in that first week.
100%. Yep. Yeah, there's not a number 2 seed sitting around that would surprise me if they got beaten by the 7 seed in the first week.
Yep. Should be some good playoff football in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah, I hope so.
Next week's going to be interesting. Who sits? Who plays?
Half the league will be sitting next week probably.
Well, those last couple of playoff spots are still
depends on what happens. I'd say if Baltimore win tomorrow, Cleveland probably sit a bunch. Baltimore will sit a bunch. Oh, God. Miami, Buffalo, they'll be playing for the division.
Yep.
So, yeah. I don't know if Miami's actually definitely in the playoffs yet or not.
Well, at
Don't
the
know.
moment, I think they did. Did they win
Clinched?
last week?
Oh, yeah, they did.
They did
Yeah,
win.
so they
They
clinched.
clinched the
They
playoff
clinched
spot.
last week.
Yep.
Yeah.
They've either clinched the division or
No, they haven't clinched the
playoff-
division because I
just the
know
playoff
Buffalo
spot.
can still win the division.
Yeah, right.
So they've clinched
But
the spot.
Buffalo can miss the playoffs altogether, and they can still win the division.
Interesting.
Yeah, no, that's definitely right. Because there's a three-way tie for the division lead in the South with you guys, Jacksonville, and who? Tennessee? No, not Tennessee.
No, Jags.
Jacksonville,
Houston.
Indy.
us,
Oh, and Houston. That's
Houston.
right. That's all. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're all 8-7 or something.
Yeah, I think Stroud's back this week.
And on
I
the
think he's cleared
Colts are
concussion.
the 7th seed at the moment. Jags are 4th, and
No,
the
no
Texans are
offense,
right
man.
behind us.
These guys shouldn't be there.
No, we shouldn't.
The Falcons handed you your ass last week.
I know.
Hey,
What do you think? Yeah.
Gardner's going all right.
That wasn't it? Was that in Indy too?
No,
No,
no.
Minshew
it was still
mania.
bad. Like it wasn't even close. It was.
No, it was terrible. I watched it. I watched the first half and I was starting to fall asleep because I had a late night. Sunday night. And,
What did they score? 10 points.
yeah, it wasn't much.
I don't know. There's a lot of phony teams.
Oh, there are some phony teams. Don't know about
There's
that.
a lot of hope for the future though in Indy.
Oh,
You
yeah.
get Richardson back next year.
They're a better. They're going to be a better team than the
It's
Richards.
going to be a
for
good
sure.
team.
I don't know what they stand to lose in the off season, but
No, I don't think I've lost.
What's Jonathan Taylor doing? Is he happy? Is he?
no, he got paid.
He did get paid.
Yeah.
Got paid, got his three-year contract, so he'll
Yeah.
be right.
Where about you, Saints?
Ugh.
What a shit show. Is about gazillion dollars over the fucking cap again next year.
Look, let's talk about
Look,
Denver.
They might be able to push it. They might be able to push it forward again.
Let's talk about Sean Payton instead in Denver. What are they doing?
It's not much different.
No, it's not much different.
In fact, Denver might be in a slightly better situation.
well, Denver are still a chance of making the playoffs, but are going to sit Russell in case he gets hurt. So
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Because
they don't want him to get hurt.
Oh,
He can't be injured on the 1st of March, or his current contract.
oh, they're going to get stuck with him.
Yeah. They get stuck with him for an extra year or something like that. There's some
I did
financial
see.
implications.
Yeah,
So-
I did
read
see
somewhere that
they wanted him to
Russell's
take a
come
pay
out.
cut.
Yeah.
or something.
Russell's come out and said, "Oh, they're gonna cut me in
Yep.
March."
They're going to cut him in March because that's when he's next year or he's
Wow.
X amount of dollars cut. So if he's injured, he can't pass that physical in March. So that's why they want to sit him for these 2 games just in
Wow.
case he gets injured.
Not that surprisingly.
So,
I can't really blame Denver for that.
well, I mean, there's still a chance of getting the playoffs.
They're not going to do shit with Russ there.
Russ has not had a bad year. His stats are not
Yeah, his
terrible,
stats look alright.
but
Yeah,
he
if you
hasn't
sit there-
he hasn't made good decisions.
If you
at
sit there and watch
times.
if you sit there and watch the games, he's making terrible decisions in most of the games. So,
Yeah.
but
But his stats are actually decent.
plus the contract's ridiculous.
It is. They should never have traded for him what they did, and they should never have signed him to that sort of
No.
contract.
No.
Peyton's got a big mess there to clean up, and I think he's actually doing pretty
Well,
well this year.
Did you? So, at the start of the season, like Peyton's got a fairly complex playbook
Yep.
that he likes to run.
Yep.
So at the start of the season, they basically had to throw the playbook out the window because
Yeah.
Russ didn't have a clue what he was doing with it.
Yep.
And basically dumbed it down to a version that Russ could understand.
Yeah.
And this is a guy that's been in the league for how many fucking years?
10, 11, something
12,
like
whatever.
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. And now Peyton is putting Stidham out there to start because he thinks he can run his offense. He might not run it well, but he wants to see what a quarterback looks like that can run his offense.
Well, Stidham should have been learning that offense and doing nothing else but learning the offense for the last 12, 14 weeks.
Stidham actually didn't play too bad at the end of the
He
season.
played really well for the Raiders.
last year. Yeah.
I thought he would go somewhere and end up starting this year.
Yeah.
Like, there are so many other teams that he could have signed with. I'm not sure why he
Well-
signed with Denver.
Like there's so back to the Flacco thing.
Yeah.
Like you can't tell me that Flacco's not going to sign a contract with somebody next off season
Yeah, he will. A decent
and
contract.
as a starter.
Yep.
Um,
There are a lot of teams that are going to need quarterbacks next year.
well,
I mean, just look at all the second teamers that we've got starting this week.
yeah, man, it's nuts.
What is it? 25 or something backups have started the
I
year.
don't know.
It's crazy.
It's insane,
There
man.
are,
I've never seen anything.
4 or 5 teams that have started 4 quarterbacks or something like that.
It's-
It's ridiculous.
But
Unbelievable.
I've got to think Washington's back in the quarterback sweepstakes now.
Well, they've just benched.
Yeah, they've benched Howe.
Yep.
And they're probably going to be sitting in a fairly prominent spot on the draft board.
Yep.
So it probably turns into. I don't think they're going to be in a position right now to get Drake May or Caleb Williams. But Jaden Daniels probably ends up being a Redskin if it goes down the way it's going. They might get
A
Drake.
commander.
Sorry, yeah.
A commander.
Did I say Redskins? They'll forever be the Redskins.
That's it.
Even the
Watch it
people,
now, boy.
even the Indians have petitioned them to
Some of them.
be the Redskins
Some
again.
of them are. We have to put a racism warning on this podcast now.
The logo is actually of one of the big chiefs
Yeah.
years ago, and it's mark of respect is what they've.
Well, some of them are saying that, and some are saying it's not. But
whatever.
it's like the Cleveland Indians. I didn't even know they changed
Cleveland
their
Guardians.
name. Yeah.
Yeah. Most people don't even know who the Cleveland Guardians are. But Flacco will be. So you're probably looking at teams like Pittsburgh.
Maybe Kenny doesn't seem to be the answer.
Well, Kenny's got his nose out of joint now, apparently, because he's been cleared to play and he's playing Rudolph anyway.
Yep.
So
Atlanta needs to work.
Atlanta
out
has
what
to
the
get a
hell they're
quarterback,
doing.
man. What they've got is just a steaming
Well,
pile
they're
of shit.
back to what, Tyler now, aren't they?
Heineke's back in. Said, I'll tell you what, man. If there is an offense that Flacco would look good in, he could go there. He's not mobile, but he could go there and let it hum to downfield.
Yeah.
Kyle Pitts, Drake
Drake
London.
Well, they had Ryan at the statue of Ryan for a long time, so, and he actually.
They haven't got a bad O-line, so Atlanta's actually not that far away from being a pretty solid team.
Yeah.
And they're probably not going to be in the position to draft one of the top end quarterbacks.
New England.
New England 100% will be looking for a quarterback.
Well, once they get a new coach.
I don't know. Yeah, look, I don't think he gets fired.
He might walk.
He might walk. I'd say him and Robert Kraft might just have a little conversation. Maybe like Matt was saying last week.
At the massage parlour.
Yeah.
One each in a bed.
Yeah, well, Deshaun might be lying next.
There's Sean Belichick and Kraft walk into a massage parlour together.
I'd like to hear the end of that.
So does Deshaun.
This
He wants
podcast
to hear
does
the
not
end.
endorse massage parlours in any way, shape or form.
Not ones with happy endings, anyway.
There's not enough quarterbacks to go around.
No, there's not. And this year, with all those injuries, it's even clearer that,
Well, there's just not enough starters to start with. Once you start pulling into the depth, it's...
Well, I know Matt had a lot of love for old Dobbsy, who's
Josh Dobbs.
Josh Dobbs, who lost his job to Mullins, who's now lost his job again
To Reed.
to
He'd
Reed.
be looking for a job next year, wouldn't he?
Dobbs.
Dobbs.
He might just go and lean on his astrophysicist degree that he's got. So
He looked good. He did look good for a
he
couple
played
of
well
weeks.
with Arizona.
Yeah.
The minute he went to Minnesota, it all went to shit.
No, first week he was good.
First
Before
week
he looked
so
really
he went all right before he knew the playbook.
That's right.
Once he started to learn the playbook, it all went out the window.
Maybe Matt can approach him to play for the Wolverines, mate.
He'd probably be a pretty decent little weapon for the Wolverines.
Would be, I reckon.
You might be looking for some money to do it though. Not sure they got the purse strings to open up to make that one happen. Maybe Matt might be able to chip in there.
Feeding Galactic Donuts.
Galactic Donuts. Yeah.
Maybe Watson, Deshaun. Maybe there's a massage parlour that can
Mate.
sponsor him and Rocky.
Not for the next 5 years, there isn't. Or 4 years, or whatever the heck, however long it was. Deshaun played all right though. Like it's like that last game he played
Yep.
really well.
Yep.
With a broken shoulder.
Yep.
Broken throwing shoulder.
How bad does DTR look now, though?
Oh, he's atrocious. Yeah, no, not good.
Considering what Flacco's been able to do,
Yeah.
DTR has looked atrocious.
Yep.
He's not worth holding in any
And
fantasy
no,
leagues.
no, he's got no value at all. But got anything else we want to go over, boys?
No, mate.
Look, I just want to say big congrats to Dave for making the final, and I think we'll have a good game. And
Congratulations to you both.
one of us will be taking home this amazing piece of blackware, silverware, goldware, whatever the thing this is.
Yep.
Black and gold, baby.
Black and gold.
All right, mate. May the best man win.
Absolutely, Dave. Thank you.
All right. Good luck, guys.
Thanks, Ben. Thanks for having us on.
Yeah, thanks for showing up. It was, I knew it wasn't going to be an easy week to try and sort something because I knew you were away.
Yeah.
I did have some
That's right.
options in my brain to maybe make it work, but
Looking at an 8-hour drive today made it all worthwhile. I mean, Rainsford couldn't even turn up for his podcast last week. So
Righto, buddy. Whoever wins this thing, awards night, we'll both get a photo with it.
look,
Wrestle it off each other.
I'll get that runner-up one.
Okay.
That little runner-up one. We'll
Well,
bring that
you-
one as well.
Well, you can have that one.
stick that one where the sun don't shine.
Gotta have a runner-up one. Look at this thing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It is, eh?
All right, guys.
All right.
Thanks
Thanks
for
mate.
coming on, eh?
No worries.
Ah.
Maybe miniature that down for next year, mate.
See you,